playoff hall. That's right.
Last season we got knocked out of the playoffs in this arena.
Okay, stop. I don't want to hear anymore.
No. Like every second person. Yeah.
It was like, what is
Oh, it was a youth review game, I said. He said it was like, hey. But they were really good. They were like this hardcore.
Welcome to tonight's game, March 1st, 2026. From the Shell Arena in Sherwood Park, Alberta, your SE701 Icemen start the playoff journey tonight against the host Sherwood Park 701. Sherwood Park 701 Knights playing last night to get into this game. Your Icemen got a bye, finishing in the top three. Sherwood Park downing Beaumont 701 by a score of 8-3 from Glengarry Arena. So we'll look to see how your Icemen do. Refreshed, always a possibility. One team playing on back-to-back nights might be more in sync or might be more fatigued. And I believe it'll be Kane Jordan, number 1, starting between the pipes for your Icemen. Your Icemen wearing their white jerseys with blue and black trim. We'll be going left to right in this first period. Against the host Sherwood Park Knights in black with green and white trim. Late Sunday game for your Icemen. Late 8:30 start. And roster update for your Icemen. Your Sear Icemen without the services of number 4 Brandon Foote for tonight's game again. Will be serving the second game of 3 for a suspension. So it will be Kane Jordan starting between the pipes for your Icemen. And we are underway. Puck worked into the Iceman zone. Ferris back to pick it up. He'll delay. Tries to move it up the wall. That's up to the point. Fired back in on that. That's off the body of Weeks and into the corner. Weeks chips it up to Baines. Baines evades a check, gets out. Tries to chip that up to Perosny. He does. He gets through. Baines hooked off the puck. He tried to dance to the front of the net. Perosny, Weeks, and Baines line out here to start. Carrero and Ferris on the back end. Ferris up the boards. Gets it up and out. The official hard tumble on the ice. Back the other way. Baines fires it for a rebound. Perosny gets it. Another shot again. Baines again off a stick. And finally, Calder Perosny, the beneficiary of 6 shots on net. Just a mad scramble in front of the Knights goal. And Perosny able to scoop that in. It'll be Perosny from Baines and Weeks. Might be Perosny from Baines and Ferris as he was up on the rush. So your Icemen score 53 seconds into this opening period. Get on the board. Sawyers upends Gwinnett as he tried to get in. Hard, weird bounce off the dasher. Smith keeps it in. It's a 2-on-1. Pomulus gets it with a skate of his shot on net. Sawyers dumps his man as that puck into the midsection of Jordan. He'll hold on. Face off to the right of Jordan. Weeks in to take the draw. Face off won by Sherwood Park. Fired by McMillan on net. And Homulus just able to tap that back to his tender to cover up. Weeks or Vanderham will win that to the wall. Homulus up the middle looking for Bender. It gets out. Bender going to bring it to center. He's up with Giamaroli. Bender drives wide. He's pushed into the boards. Vanderham picks it up, looks to Giamaroli. Giamaroli tries to cycle that back into the corner. It's going to be offside. Called on Sherwood Park. The face-off will come outside in front of the Iceman bench. It's number 1, Benjamin Krager. Krager in net for the Knights. Up against Jordan. Colomb back to pick up the puck. Bounces it off the boards to Baines. Briefly out and just sent right back in by the Knights. Carrier dodges a check. Weeks able to chip it up and out. Baines is going to Grab it and go. He'll drive wide. Cut to the middle. Fire. Just misses upstairs on the glove side of Krager. Cologne lobs that in. A bouncing puck. Krager catches that with the right pad. Baines strips his man of the puck. Quick shot. He's dumped to the ice on a loose puck. Right back to the point. Carrier will fire it back in. Baines slow to get up. And he is very shaken up. Slowly going to the Sierra bench. Keep an eye on that as Baines already has his helmet off. So Baines getting assessed by the trainer. Just upended right in the slot as he stripped his man of the puck. Worked up along the near wall. Chipped back in by Sawyers, who gives chase. He's out here with Gwinnett and Knapsick. That's through the skates of Ferris. He's able to pick it up, send it right back in to the night zone. Sawyers hard right into the end boards. We'll see if his skates are okay after that. And Sherwood Park jumps up on a 3-on-2. Ferris and Carrero back. Puck cycled back wide around the net. Knapsick fans on that outlet pass, and it's going to get sent right back down behind the goal. Sherwood Park now trying to counter with some zone time of their own. The puck out and just outside. Sherwood Park's going to have to tag up as Knapsick to the near boards to Sawyers. He's in pursuit. Rubs his man off the puck. Centers it to Gwinnett. That's chipped back in below the goal line by a Knights player's stick. Smith will pinch down to hold that in momentarily. Knapsick. Good job by Giamaroli to read that he was coming on in relief. Not touch that puck, or that would have been too many men for your Iceman. Puck worked around the boards back to Smith. He gets it with his skates. Good job by Gwinnett to assist the defenseman, be back in support. Puck tied up along the boards. Smith gets it back to Homulus, his D partner for tonight. Smith on the back end as foot is out. Smith will be the sixth defenseman. Your Iceman going with 9 and 6 again. Sherwood Park drags up and drives wide. Pittman will drive wide, looking to center that. He's going to hold on to it. He's hounded by Homulus, and a hard hit by Vanderham as he took a pound of flesh. Pittman looking to center that, but was not looking at the incoming Vanderham. Good hit by Jace Vanderham. Definitely keep the Knights players with their heads up. Binder dodges a check, and he'll reverse that back into the Knights zone. Vanderham, Binder, Perosny. Perosny almost picked off that pass to the weak side. Carrier back to pick it up. He'll reverse that to Cologne. That evades Cologne and goes, rims around to the opposite corner. Vanderham again with a hit on his man in the corner. Perosny picks it up, chips it up to Binder. Binder's going to drive over center. Stops up at the half wall. Drops it for Weeks. Weeks evades a check into the slot. Just misses upstairs on the glove side on Krager. And that's just chipped out into the neutral zone by Sherwood Park, who will try to get in a full line change. Sawyers chips that in briefly into the zone, but that's lobbed right back out, and that's going to be down the ice for an icing. Just under 6 minutes gone in this opening frame. Opening goal by Perosny, a mad scramble in the crease area. Your Icemen are up 1-0. Weeks wins the face-off forward, shovels it into a waiting Krager, and then takes a slash in the shins as he looks for the rebound. Puck up to the boards on the far side, picked up by Sawyer. He lobs at Weeks, who's able to gather it up and send it right back down deep into the Knight zone. Perosny gathered that up, centers it to Weeks. He's going to giddy up to the half wall on the side boards and send it right back in. Good job by this line to move the puck around. Carrero from the point through traffic. Krager steers that aside. Ferris just rims it right back around. Great job to hem this Sherwood Park line in the zone. Sawyers through traffic. That's off a skate in front of the net. And chipped back down the ice. Not going to be enough for icing as Ferris picks it up. Sherwood Park just able to get a line change in, minus the left defenseman, Friesen, who's still out here. He'll rim that around. Now Friesen will go for a line change. Good chance right in close. Puck off the stanchion, right back out into the slot, and it's just out over the blue line, forcing the Knights to tag up Zahara. He'll pick it up in front of his bench, move it to his D-man. That's worked back to over to the bench area, and Schreiber sends that right back over where forwards were making a line change, and that is a too many men penalty. So exactly what the Icemen evaded when Giamaroli didn't touch the puck on a line change. Unfortunately, the Knights do, and your Icemen are on the power play. Porosny with the puck. Up to the point to Colomb. Colomb walks it back to Porosny. Curls off the half wall. Juggles that. Going to work it back down to Weeks. Back up top to Colomb. Colomb fans on it. He's going to send it down to Ferris. Ferris chipped it to Weeks, and the Icemen just trying to slow things down again. Penalty for too many men. Weeks fires that. That's off of a body. Good block shot there and up into the rafters for a whistle. Weeks in to take the draw. Vanderham, Weeks, Porosny, Colomb. Colomb works it D to D to Ferris. Ferris bank pass to Vanderham. Vanderham to the half wall to Colomb. Handcuffs him on the back end. Good job to get that. Porosny's going to have to hustle to try to get this puck back. Vanderham jams it loose for Weeks. Weeks back up the wall to Colomb. Colomb to Weeks. Battle is ensuing in front. Vanderham and Elliott battling for, jockeying for position. Worked right across, looking for the backdoor pass to Ferris. On the second pass. Misses him, but Ferris gets it. Vanderham centers it to Porosny, and that's off a skate, and Kraker able to find that and hold on. So if you can believe it, that's only just over a minute of that power play, and the whole power play time spent in the Knights zone. The second power play unit comes on. Sawyers, Knapczyk, Gwinnett, Romulus, and Colomb will stay out here. Stopped behind the net by Jordan. Colomb will set up. Worked at the Sawyers. He loses an edge. That might be from earlier on when he went into the boards. We'll keep an eye on that. Colomb works it up to Romulus, that handcuffs him. Turnover. Fry looking to get free. Pushed into the boards by Romulus. Romulus looking to get that puck back. 20 seconds remaining. 40 seconds killed off the power play by the Knights. Knapczyk drags that in. He's hounded by a couple of Knights players, and they're able to clear it back down the length of the ice. The penalty almost expiring. Colomb tries to evade a check, chips it to himself. He'll bounce it off the boards for Gwinnett. Gwinnett curls in his own zone, looks. Evades one check. Dodges another one. A player coming off the bench. Could have clocked him. And Ferris on the ice and back off as Romulus didn't touch it. Romulus almost stripped to the puck, right back, and that's off the skate of Carrero as he prevents that puck from getting to the cage. Giamaroli tries to get Binder. Turnover, and the Knights will reset. Good job on the forecheck by Giamaroli. Knocks the puck ajar. Vanderham in to help out, and 3-on-2. Campbell in, fires it. That's off the stick of Carrero. Another shot from a sharp angle. Sails to the near boards. Work back to the point. Barely kept in by Schreiber, and he content to send it into the opposite corner. Shot through traffic. Gets to the front of the net and just can't get handled by Sherwood Park player, and Kane Jordan has seen enough, and he'll hold on for a whistle. 9:40 remaining in the opening period. The only goal so far in this game, mad scramble in front of the net. 5 different shots at it, and Rosny finally able to find it as Krager down on his backside. Chip sent right up the gut looking for Sawyers. Just misses him. Jordan out to play the puck, gets it around to Porosny. Porosny banks it off the boards, and Weeks able to get it up out into the neutral zone. Porosny will get it over center. That's forced on the turnover again. Guerrero gets it off the boards, banks it. Weeks tries to chip it past the defenseman to Sawyers. Sawyers ends up bodying his man. Porosny dodges a man to Sawyers. Sawyers going to leave it on the delayed offside. Weeks going to force a turnover. Weeks enters the zone. Long shot from outside, easily steered away by Krager. The Knights able to pick it up and come out. Puck right up the middle. One-on-one. Homulus back. Keeps his man to the outside. Centering pass. And the trailing player gets a shot away, but that's up off a stick into the netting. Good job by Homulus to keep his man to the outside, but inadvertently, he's still able to curl to the boards and find a trailer. And a shot for traffic off the face-off rim, and the Knights tie things up at 1. And I see Smith up on forward now. He's playing with Giamaroli and Knapsack. Gwinnett. So it's Gwinnett, Knapsack, and Smith up front now. Carrier and Homulus on the back end, as Baines is still being tended to on the bench. Knapsack tries to jam that puck in. Smith gets it. Can't get it any farther, and Homulus will lob that in. Gwinnett gives chase. Puck work back up. Knapsack picks it up, fires it. That's off a body. Good block shot right there in the slot, and the Knights are away again. Homulus finishes his check on his man, and that puck right into a waiting Kane Jordan, who is quick to cover that up with Carrier coming back, as well as 2 Knights players in pursuit looking for the rebound. 8:01 remaining in this opening frame. We're all knotted at 1 here. The Knights getting a goal off an offensive face-off whim. Shot through traffic from the point, went upstairs on the blocker side of Kane Jordan to tie things at 1. Puck up to the blue line, but not out. And Colomb tried to slow that down as it went to the cage, but Jordan able to smother that. .7:44 remaining in the first period. Face-off win again by Sherwood Park. Puck from Colomb to Vanderham. Vanderham up and just about kept in at the line. Sherwood Park looks to pick it up. Binder tries to center that to Giamaroli. That's off a skate in the neutral zone. Giamaroli gives chase, forces Schreiber for the Knights to fire that back in. Binder up to Vanderham. Vanderham out and evades a check in the neutral zone. He'll chip and chase. Vanderham in pursuit. Looking to force a turnover. Throws his body into a defender behind the net, but Pittman will come out with it. He's kept to the outside by Carrero. Pittman looks, tries to shovel that back. Carrero will chip it to the wall to Giamaroli. Vanderham trying to finish off Fry. We're going to get a penalty. I believe it's going to be a cross-checking penalty coming to Vanderham. So after hitting Fry, give him a shot, which was caught by the official. So it'll be a cross-checking infraction to Vanderham, and your Icemen away on the penalty kill. Weeks, Gwinnett, Homulus, and Carrero out to start this penalty kill. Face off to the right of Jordan. Face off, clean win by Weeks, right back to Carrero, and he sends it all the way down on Craker. Had the stats on the shots and goal for the opening period. Sherwood Park able to get in and set up in the offensive zone as Cisa gets it at the top, works it to the half wall, right to the slot. Blocked by a body. And Gwinnett trying to carry it out of the zone. It's intercepted. Fortunately doesn't create an offensive opportunity by Sherwood Park, and then Weeks just fires that out and into the Sherwood Park end. And Carrier will send that up through the rafters, missing the metal right down into the Sherwood Park zone. Half of the penalty has eroded to Vanderham in the sin bin for cross-checking. As Picocha picks it up, he almost got around Weeks. Carrier intercepts that outlet, helped by Weeks along the boards. Carrier picks it up, fires it. That's up to the point. Point man fired, and that's off the active stick of Weeks and into the opposite corner. Sherwood Park, 32 seconds remaining in the power play. They're trying to go find the guy in the bumper play and puck right into him, but he's from the backhand. He had to try to go forehand and couldn't get enough on it to elevate it on the blocker side on Jordan. Schreiber picks it up, back door, looking for Jordan. Great stop. Jordan comes over and stops that. Right into the wheelhouse of his teammate, who didn't get all of it, but got enough. It was going bottom corner on the short side, and Jordan able to slide across and get his right pad on it and keep that out. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty to Vanderham. Face off. Still in the Iceman zone. That's fired it off the body of Giamaroli. Puck worked down. Carrero still out here. Puck center right in front. Puck loose. Carrero fires that off the boards, but not out. Redmanovich keeps it in. Giamaroli will shovel that out. And your Icemen have killed off the Knights power play. Both teams 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Ferris, little pass up to Binder. Binder looks, tries to drop it to Vanderham. It's turned over. Giamaroli hits his man, but it's a 2-on-1. Carrero on the 2-on-1 and a pass from the corner hits its mark, and it's short side low on Jordan. Sherwood Park unable to score on the man advantage, but Zahara scores 5-on-5, and it's 2-1 for the Knights. Well, as I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, you wonder if you'll have less legs or more legs playing on back-to-back nights, and the Sherwood Park Knights don't look to be any worse for wear in this back-to-back, having played last night beating Beaumont 8-3. Looks like they have some momentum now and have taken it for the time being, and good to see Baines back out here, taking his first shift since being upended earlier on in the period. Puck back down into the Iceman zone, and Smith back to tag up. So Baines back out here with Porosny and Weeks for now. It's the usual forward combination here with Homulus and Smith back on the back end. So Smith on defense, back up on forward, and on defense again. Homulus looks to the half wall. Porosny to Baines, and that's right on net. Weeks looking for that right in front of the net. Breaker able to steer that aside. Homulus to Baines. Baines fans on it, chips it up to the blue line, but not out. Romulus will go back and pick it up. Baines picks it up. Backhand to Smith. He's going to have to hustle to get it. Weeks just elects to lob it back out into the neutral zone to force the Knights to tag up. Some scrambly play here by your Icemen. As Borosny chips it in, he'll give chase as his line mates go for a change. 3 minutes remaining in the opening frame, a 1-goal lead for the Knights. Turned over briefly as Gwinnett forced a turnover, and Borosny gets out at the end of a change. He'll send that in and go off as Knapsick comes out with his line of Sawyers and Gwinnett. Carrier sends that back in. The Icemen have to tag up. 2:40 remaining in the first period. That's lobbed into the Iceman zone by Knockbauer. Work down low. Colomb picks it up, trying to evade a check. He'll get up the wall to Sawyers. Sawyers up to Knapsick. Knapsick to look out for the freight train of Freemark, who was lining him up. Carrier up the middle. That's picked off. And a turnover. And it's going to be called on the offside. The Knights unable to tag up, but some, like I mentioned, some unforced errors by the Icemen that look a little rattled here. Down by 1 in this first period. Some scrambly play, so I hope they could dial it back in here with 2:08 remaining in the first period. Carrier to Colomb. Sawyers will chip it in. It ends up right behind the Knights zone net. Puck brought up by the Knights. Fan on a shot from outside. Carrier buries his man. Vanderham tries to center that. That's picked off by the skates of a Knights player. Freemark tries to protect the puck. Turnover, and Knights unable to center that as Zahara, the goal scorer, looking to score again. Fired through traffic off of Colomb. High stick by a Knights player. Picked up by Vanderham. So that's waved down. Carrier picks it up again. Carrier back behind the net to Colomb. It bounces out and just up the middle. So 1:14 and the Icemen just looking to kill the clock here at the end of the first period to reset because some unforced errors and sketchy play here after Sherwood Park goes up 2-1. There's another turnover there. Fired on that. That didn't miss by much. On the glove side on Jordan. Worked up the wall. Fired on that. Tipped, and Jordan steered that aside with a pad. Vanderham up to Giamaroli. Not kept in at the line. That's going to force the Knights to have to tag up, and it's going to be called on the touch. So the faceoff will be to the outside of the Iceman blue line. 41.4 seconds remaining till this Iceman team can reset for the second period. Weeks wins the puck to the wall to Baines. Baines tries to drag it through his man, but Weeks will pick it up. Right back to Baines. Baines looks for Weeks. Back door. Toe saved by Krager. What a stop. Krager outstretched the pad and got that. Campbell from a sharp angle centers that. That's intercepted by Weeks. 21 seconds. Up looking for Porosny or Baines. Intercepted. Baines tries to chip that to himself through traffic. Weeks is going to give chase. This line ever so dangerous. Good to see Jorah Baines back out here, and that puck all the way down for an icing with 2.4 seconds to go in this first period. Face off to the right of Kraker. Weeks in to take the draw. He wins it. That's picked up by Sherwood Park. And a punch right in the face by a Knights player right to Porosny. We'll see if he's going to take both of them here. Or is that Ferris? But I think he's only going to take one. I would expect a penalty definitely for the Sherwood Park player. So after 20 minutes of play, It's your Icemen trailing 2-1 to the host Sherwood Park